What is a trigger session? A trigger session is something that is written inside of the anabolic program that I'm doing. So as a reminder, I'm doing 2 days a week of full body lifting, and then I'm doing trigger sessions and mobility on my active rest days, as well as walking. And so today is Tuesday, and today happens to be a day that I'm going to do a trigger session. And so trigger sessions are meant to just either practice the skill of the movement or just get some blood pumping and basically send a signal to your muscles to grow. Because when we're exercising, that's all it is. When we're in the gym, we're breaking down muscle. When we are outside of the gym, all those hours, especially when we're sleeping, is when we are building the muscle back up and when we should be seeing strength gains. So a trigger session that I'm going to do is I want to work on the back of my shoulders, and then I also want to work on glutes and hamstrings over the next 12 weeks. So that is what I'm going to be working on today, in addition to some squat mobility. I like to try different things. So there are a couple of people that I follow on Instagram. Vanja Moves is one of those people, Vernon Griffith. I also like Strength Side and Beard, The Best That You Can Be. Those are some accounts on Instagram that have really good mobility movements. And mobility is not just about being flexible. It is being able to be in a position, a certain range of motion, and be able to be strong in that position or in that range of motion. So think about, for my hip mobility, it's not just me doing a couch stretch and just stretching the front of my quad. It's, can I hold that? Can I squeeze my glute? How much can I tilt my pelvis forward? Can I be strong in that position? So those are the types of things that I'm going to be working on when it comes to mobility. But today, trigger session, and today for my trigger session, I'm actually going to be doing some hip thrust and some banded side kicks. I don't have bands or the ability to do a banded hip thrust setup in my home gym. So I am going to actually use a barbell, but it's going to be very, very, very light. I can hip thrust well over 300 pounds, but today I'm going to be using 65 pounds. It's actually, for me, more comfortable to use a barbell than it would be to use a dumbbell. I could use a dumbbell as well. So all I'm going to do today is one set of 15 hip thrusts this morning. Then at lunchtime, after I eat my lunch, I'm going to do another set of 15 hip thrusts. And then later on today, probably when I get done training my client, maybe after dinner, I will do another set of 15 hip thrusts. Then I will do some banded side kicks, and that's really kind of to work more on my outer glute as well as my hamstrings. Same thing, I'm gonna do one set of 15 now, one set of 15 at lunch, one set of 15 later tonight, and that's it. Again, I'm just trying to send a signal to my glutes and my hamstrings to grow. And then I'm gonna do about 15 minutes of hip mobility this morning. I've been sitting a lot lately and my hip is really bothering me. So between just being diligent about my hip mobility and then also standing when I'm at my desk, either checking emails or not on calls, I try to stand. That really helps get my hips back into a better place. So that's what I'm working on today. Let me know if you have any questions about trigger sessions or mobility. I'm happy to share more resources with you. Okay, so in this hip thrust setup, I've got my bench here. I'm gonna put my upper back on the bench. I have a band around my legs, and I wanna be in the position. I've elevated my barbell on these platforms because it's just easier to get into position that way. And I want my legs, when I'm fully extended like this, I want my legs and my calves to be in a 90-degree angle here. I'm just gonna squeeze at the top. So squeeze, 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 and I'm gonna do that for 15 reps. Got my chin tucked, I'm looking ahead. Nice neutral spine. And that's really it. And if I'm doing it well, then I will definitely feel a little bit of a burn there, but I'm not overtaxing my CNS. Now I'm gonna do some banded side kicks or banded donkey kicks. Again, this is not meant to be taxing whatsoever. So I have a very light band here that I'm going to be using and a strap that I put around my ankle here. And I'm just gonna think about kicking out kind of at a 45-degree angle, get a good squeeze in my glute here, and I'm gonna do 15 reps on each side. So again, nothing too taxing. And as you can see, that took me less than 5 minutes to do. So I'll come back out into the garage. I'll do that twice more today, and that's essentially my trigger session, and then my 15 minutes of mobility and my walking, and that's my movement for today.